I'm Rockhart. This is Wonder Drift.
Yeah, and let's proceed to the draft phase. And as you can see here, all right. So for the side of Digital Devils Aethrux, they went for your casual band of Catherine and Lorelei, the two captains that's normally banned a lot in tournaments. Ends on the other end, going with this, with also another
the Yates Churnwalker combo,
Yates
man.
Churnwalker combo. It's also very typical band, a lot. Okay, then we look at the lineups. You got Arden and Anka, both heroes have been severely nerfed this meta.
Yep.
So let's see how it's gonna pan out. And wait, they have 3 captains in their lineup.
That's actually quite interesting. Of course, a lot of DPS already. For Digital Devils, you got the Anka who was nerfed, so usually you would see her on the ban list automatically, right?
Yep.
So right now she's being allowed. On the other side, though, we have a Tony and, of course, a Finn on the front line, backed up by that Gwen,
Baptist,
of course.
Gwen, I mean, if you look at the lineup of Ents, it's very damage-centric. Whereas if you look at the lineup of Digital Devils, it's so sustain-centric.
Exactly. I really like that. Of course, a lot of damage is great, especially if you want to go for the 5v5 early on in the mid lane, which does happen quite a lot here in Vainglory. Of course, you want to see a lot of a great front line as well. That's why they have Finn there.
Yeah.
Usually, he would be the one who's left in the mid lane. You usually don't, in Vainglory, guys, you don't want the mid lanes to just be left alone.
Yeah.
Vainglory mid lane gets a lot of attention, so you really want to have at least some tanks usually rotate over after they go to the jungle. Of course, let's load up into Sovereign's Rise, game 1 for the day of Vainglory Digital Devils Aethrux versus Ents.
Alright, so when I looked at the lineup of Ents, like I saw the Tony pick here, I feel like he's gonna attract a lot of attention together with Finn. Like you do wanna, you really have to put these two up the front lines because Gwen, Baptist, and Celeste, they're gonna be your primary damage dealers. And of course, in this current meta, it's about weapon damage, and of course, protecting Gwen is a must-have for Ents.
Absolutely. Gwen, usually you want to leave her out on the top or maybe bottom. Have her get all that gold right away into her pockets. Get hurt very, very painful. And that's your win condition right there. Of course, mid lane is going to be a scuffle here. Digital Devils going for the free man mid. Celeste doesn't have that much burst as of yet, so they're going to have to just endure this. Of course, Digital Devils are very aggressive, and they most likely will take control of the jungle as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like what they're doing right now. I mean, getting the jungle objectives is very important. Like, it's very crucial in rotating around the map and getting kills. And that's what Digital Devils is quite known for. They do that a lot against their other rivals in the VPL, so they're already showing it here against Ents.
Oh, look at that, absolutely. Digital Devils trying to stave off some aggression here from Ents.
Yeah,
of course, they have the tools to do that, no problem whatsoever, DDRX.
Yeah, I mean, of course, when you got the sustain from Grace and Arden, it's really possible for you to go aggressive, but Smith in here is going to get harassed here, but let's see how it's going to pan out.
Could be ugly here for Ents if they don't go out of the way. That Finn taken very, very low, half HP already. A lot of hurting being given up by Digital Devils, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, Wizard there with a core collapse, that's enough to protect his teammates, so.
Absolutely, I think they have the complete ability to control the mid lane, which, of course, we will be going around for the meantime. Of course, top lane, we're actually suffering a lot of damage here. That Gwen doing a lot of pressure on the Grace.
Yeah, I mean, it's expected for Gwen, especially knowing that Gwen has the mobility with a second skill, and of course, damage from the Buckshot Bonanza. It creates a lot of space for her in the top lane. So it's not going to be surprising if she dominates the top lane, but if you're Digital Devils, that's something that should be a major concern. Because if Gwen gets bolsters in the late game, you're in a lot of trouble.
Exactly. There's like no way to reach even to just touch a Gwen in the late game. So you're gonna have to watch out for that. Of course, that's on the side of Ents. They're gonna have to keep that win condition alive consistently if they want to get ahead in this match.
Yeah, and I expect Fady to go aggressive in the top lane as Anka. Because Anka is like one of those heroes who's very good against ADCs or the long-range carries in the game.
Of course, that is true. Like, a lot of pressure already built in on Anka, despite her getting a lot of nerfs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a great pick. The mechanics are still the same. So I kind of expect Anka to just totally pop off later on in mid-game.
Right, that's true. And then it's also interesting that in this meta, it's already, the tower damage is already very low. The tower HP is already lower than before, so we expect teams to go very aggressive. Like they could go they could go and finish off, go tower diving, and they could also try to go for the split GG pushes.
Exactly. I mean, when that does happen, when the meta shifts that way, you kind of expect a lot of focus on having tanks. So you can enable a lot of the tower dives. It's safer to tower dive if that is the case. Of course, mid lane still pretty much in control of Anka. She has complete the abilities to do so. A lot of bursts from those knives getting thrown up. Easy peasy there. Fade very comfortable on this Anka pick right now, though.
Yeah, I mean, even with the nerfs, I mean, the thing about Anka right now, given the current meta patch, is that you really need to time the Shimmering Blade as well as the Dance of Knives if you really want her to be effective. Like, of course, in this meta, the CP powers have already been reduced.
Yep.
The cooldowns as well, the energy level, so every spell has to be timed perfectly.
Oh, this could be bad there. A little bit of scaring off there on the bottom lane. Kind of signaling Batista, just take your time, make space, or else you will die. That's basically the game plan here for having an Anka pick. On the top lane, though, I think they're suffering a lot of damage from the Grace. A bit weird to see this. Gwen getting harassed that much early on. Although, of course, James probably could try to go for a gang, but opting for the safer route, though.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Grace is that, sure, I mean, you could pressure her as Gwen. The problem is that the high sustain that she brings, and the fact that Gwen can actually do a lot of damage with his first and second skill, is actually slowing off Gwen. I mean,
exactly.
Sure, you do have the skedaddle to protect you, just in case things go bad. But sometimes, other than that, you still need more options.
Of course,
and we've seen Tony trying to go on top, trying to jungle as well, just to protect Gwen. So, if you're Digital Devils, that's the kind of pressure you want to see.
Exactly. Right now, though, in the mid lane, we have a small scuffle of tanks, no problems whatsoever. So I kind of forgot to ask you this. Which comp do you actually want to go for here? Who do you think is going to come out on top in this game?
I'd go with Digital Devils on this one. I like the high sustains.
Right.
I mean, even if Tony is there to attract a lot of attention.
It looks like attention is exactly what they're attracting right now. A lot of HP being destroyed here. Of course, Lyra gonna have to skedaddle out, but gets first blood, getting dove by the Tony.
Yeah, it's actually the first time. For 5 minutes, first blood has actually happened. And right now you can see here, Happy Penguin
wow.
with HP, but still he doesn't really seem to care. Liberosis next on the list, forced to run away.
Digital Devils definitely bit off a bit more they could chew. Liberosis was not even able to make it out in time. Pain.
I mean, it actually has to do with James there. James was actually trash-talking Lyra, even with... No, that's one of his abilities. And even if Lyra went for the arcane passage...
You can't jump out from me.
James has actually chased through him. And of course, that created space. Lyra gone, there's no sustain, there's no slow. And of course, ends with that advantage in the team fight without Lyra.
Of course, as you can see, Digital Devils still pretty much comfortable invading jungles. No problem there. They're going to try to see if they can threaten the Crystal Trend. Of course, Celeste most likely going to pick that up. 4 members being committed here by Ents to make sure that she does get that. Of course, Digital Devils, time is on their side, I think, isn't it? Like, as long as they can get this Anka in a good position, as long as the Vox stays healthy right there, as he is doing consistently, they should be in a pretty good spot. Of course, Gwen is no pushover as well on the top side. Something that we'll have to look forward to when they commit a full 5-man team fight. And that's exactly where all the action is going to be.
Yeah, and it's also going to be interesting how Gwen could actually survive from a pressure of an Anka, as well as a pressure from Liberosis as the Arden. A single gauntlet could actually trap Gwen out, and that's going to eliminate her from the equation together with Wizard.
Like, as long as you get caught inside Arden's ultimate, which is named Gauntlet, you're definitely going to have a hard time kiting around.
Yeah.
Because there's no space for you to kite out.
Yeah.
So again, that's one of the win conditions maybe for Digital Devils, of course. Cerberus still walking out. Walking straight, walking tall, no problem whatsoever. Although, look at this, they're baiting the fight. 2v3. Do you know it's a 2v5 or a 3v5 right now, though?
Gauntlet was escaped, apparently. And there's a lot of space for Eds. They could actually run away here, but actually, perhaps they can get chased on here. Fady with a blink in, gets a kill there on the poor Celeste and Baptiste. Finn next on the list, so
wow.
Digital Devils with a revenge.
What a smart play there for Digital Devils, making sure to bait out a fight. I think at that point, I think that might have been the Finn's problem. Maybe he was just trying to take a fight way too early. Didn't expect 5 people to be around the bushes. Of course, when you're in the bush, vision is absolutely reduced. You are invisible. They did not see that
is not going to win that team fight because the gauntlet, as well as the timing of the arcane passage,
pretty good.
Wasn't really? No, it was actually disjointed.
Right.
It actually Ends could actually escape from that, but apparently with Anka slowing
didn't
things
even need
down,
to touch the gauntlet at all. So again, because of that, a lot of pressure being exerted by Digital Devils around the map. Again, Gwen hasn't actually been joining, so maybe that's something that Ents can use later on, but when is later a bit way too late? That's the big question.
That's a very good question to ask. And right now you can see here, it's already popped out by Wizard, but right now they're going to get chased by Liberosis, hooked there by Severista. Fadey's about to go down. She does have the crystal powered Trent advantage.
Gonna use up some regeneration to try to get away. Try to pressure up, but still, that's still gonna be Ents' jungle.
Yeah, but
oh my god!
Gets a kill from behind. Nice move there by Disclosure. There's a trash talk by Tony. Does not work. Disclosure just kiting on, but eventually he goes down.
Absolutely right now. Small reprieve here for Ents. Still chasing on the Liberosis. Looks like they're not done.
Yeah, but with the reflex block, Liberosis could actually run away. Combine that with the Vanguard.
Of course, great play there for Digital Devils trying to just at least save Liberosis. But because of that, they do catch up a bit on the gold. Of course, they have the lead, but right now it's actually Finning. So again, big problems here for Ents. This Gwen, we really need to see her very soon because I think they're just giving away way too much around the map for it to justify her being out of the fights way too much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also going to be interested if Gwen could actually catch her tension bow really quick in this game, because that tension bow could actually deplete the HP of Liberosis as well as Senor Pedro.
Yeah, tanks for that.
The critical damage is already bonkers with that tension bow. So
we have to wait and see if it will actually be usable. I mean, that's the question here for Digital Devils. Will you allow the Gwen to actually pull all of those off? If you want to be safe, you won't have to pick up fights like this right now, though. Tony going in really hard. 3 members of Digital Devils going to get caught out, of course.
And they actually blocked Celeste's ultimate, and even the trash talk wasn't able to do enough. Even with Grace trying to help James, I mean, sorry, not James, but because of the sustain that Grace brought to Digital Devils, it actually helped them win that team fight. I mean, not win that team fight, but actually sustain themselves.
And making sure that fight does go in their favor, of course. Digital Devils, they're not done. Come here, James. We're looking for you. Apparently, damage will barely be enough.
But Liberosis is chasing Grace.
Oh, they're still going, though. Sorry about that. There we go. They're still going on the chase on the Gwen. He's under tower. Will he survive, though? Apparently not. That's going to be a double kill over to the Anka.
Yeah, surprisingly, the damage of Grace is actually off the charts right now. I mean, of course, that's stun. And right now, look at this. Disclosure about to go down. Will be able to run away, though. Kiting off against Wizard, though. Low in HP. Does go down here. Smitten trying to rescue his teammate does not work out well for Digital Devils.
Thought for a moment he could take one more before he went down.
Yeah,
apparently not enough DPS there for the Vox. Ghostwing has landed. Gonna be a neutral objective. Most likely gonna go over to Digital Devils if this keeps up. Of course, Digital Devils keeping the pressure consistently around the map. 3K gold lead right now on their side. Something that they can use to keep the pressure up again and keep those invades going. I think that's just what you need to do. Just get the invades going. Not let them come out with a 5-on-5 team fight on their, or else it could actually be bad if the Gwen is in a good position.
Yeah, I mean, that's very important. The spacing for the Gwen. Ents already has the 2 heroes that could actually protect Gwen. And that's also going to be crucial. But of course, Digital Devils, like what I said early, with the sustain, but also even with the damage as well.
Celeste actually getting dove in. Digital Devils have.
Oh, look at this. Severeste trying to go aggressive on Liberosis together with Celeste, but of course, no aggression yet. I mean, it's frightening to encounter this damage here by Digital Devils. Senor Pedro is actually going for a CT build Lyra, so that actually adds a lot on Ents if they could actually sustain themselves from the damage brought in by Grace and from Lyra.
Yeah, of course, a lot of that gonna come in later. Digital Devils, 5-man on the front, mid lane. Oh my god, the damage meters are actually quite low. No one to do the damage. Double text.
Activated, Celeste going for the ultimate. However, Digital Devils,
here we go.
HP. Spirit tries to protect her teammates, though. Will it work? It does work, however. Tony goes down. Here comes a counter-attack on the side of Digital Devils.
Barely made it out. Of course, front line very, very low here. for Ants. This could be a signal for Digital Devils to go for a dive on it too. Everyone's quite low. What will they do? That is the big question.
Yeah, I like the timing there of Digital Devils, the timing of the reflex block to negate most of the damage coming from Ents. And even the Fady just going back and forth, waiting for the right moment to strike. And then you had Smitten, who used his ultimate to protect one of his teammates. It was able to help Digital Devils secure the kill, and now they're going to get Black Claw. I mean, Ghost Wing.
Ghost Wing definitely going to be big. Ghost Wing gives you a buff as well as small amounts of regen. Allows you to keep the push going longer, and of course, usually would have the team fights in your favor.
Yeah, and then it can also be used, you know, to get kills on Black Claw, or even get kills on the other jungle creeps for additional advantages.
Yep, get those gold faster, get to your win condition in the nick of time before you actually get countered, which I think could be a possibility here. Again, we haven't seen a complete 5v5 team fight go well yet. Like, the earlier mid-game fight was actually 4v5, so we still have a huge lack of, let's say, cohesion here for Ents.
And I mean, I'm already looking at the builds of both teams. I look at Digital Devils, they're actually going a lot of crystal power with Lyra and with Anka as well. Disclosures, there's a hook on 3 apparently, but the reflex block already perfectly timed. Trash talk by Tony, not enough though. Celeste pops the ultimate, but still not enough. Man, the sustains are doing
oh my god!
This is gonna be disastrous on the side of Ed. And Baptist trying to protect his teammates though. I don't think it's gonna work.
They're trying to make advantages. Of course, Gray's gonna come in front, gonna dive on the Baptist. He goes down, hero killed again for Digital Devils. They're going for the tower this time around. What a great team fight.
Senor Pedro coming to the party though, goes for the bulwark, however misses, but Smitten charging forward, stunned there on Celeste, Wizard goes down.
Yeah, there they go, that's the team fight that Digital Devils won. Again, everyone from Ents was coming in almost in a line. Q is way too late, ladies and gents, we are already inside. No need to line up, of course that will prompt them to go for the Black Claw this time around.
Yeah, I mean, with this Black Claw, Digital Devils could actually push furthermore, but Ents, they actually have the options needed to get the Black Claw shield. So last ultimate is already available.
Could be a fight.
Yep, Gwen's ultimate is also available. Finn has the hook.
Oh, they're gonna contest this. They try to hook in, and
okay, Digital Devils get the Black Claw. So it's gonna be an advantage for them. Celeste pops the ultimate, misses.
Man, and they're gonna go and suffer because of their insolence. They're gonna take down the Gwen first, of course, after the DPS is done. Definitely no one else to do any of the work for Ents. Could be bad.
They have to retreat here. Severista, I mean, he does have the sustainability. He's super tanky, but of course, Disclosure's damage, the weapon damage that he possessed already doing a lot of damage. And Gray,
they're fighting. They're fighting on their tower right now. Do they have enough to take this? Apparently they do, but Cheese does go down. This could be bad here. Digital Devils actually might take this one just through brute force, of course. To those who don't know, that Black Cloud gonna keep going until it does go to the crystal. Gonna keep wailing on those turrets.
Yeah, I mean, Ents is just gonna rely on the Vein Crystal trying to defend them. They do have the armory available. Well, let's see if it's enough to buy them time. I mean, a single initiation play from Finn could actually help them. But then, given the damage outburst from Digital Devils, chances are it's going to be a struggle for Ents.
Most likely, of course. They're way too low on the gold right now, about 9,000 ahead. Just 17 minutes. That's gonna hurt. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the patience of Digital Devils in this game, like getting the objectives. They don't really seem to rush it. They just move around the map, get some easy kills, time their abilities well in team fights. I mean, it's already enough for them to, capitalize on the mistakes of Ents.
Exactly, but of course, this is not done at all. Not by a long shot. They can still probably take a team fight as long as they can get to the Anka, as long as they can get to the Vox.
Yeah.
I think once you get those damage dealers out of the equation, it's actually gonna be a pretty good game here for Ents. But again, the question is, how can they do that? How can they catch Digital Devils off guard and make sure they do get out ahead?
I mean, they have to time the combo between Tony is right now. Senor Pedro, saved by Grace in return. Baptiste with the ultimate unleashed, however. But Anka, let's see if she's going to charge forward or going to go into retreat.
Oh, they're going for the fight.
Yeah, Liberosis is forcing the fight together with Fady as well. Look at this, Baptiste, low in HP, does go down. Who's next on the list? Tony as well, down to the brink. Wizard, will she go down?
I think this is safe to say that 4v5 is actually still pretty much going in the favor of Digital Devils. As you can see, actually Vox is in the other side of the base. He's going for the crystals.
Yeah.
And
he's going for the armory, and of course he could actually end the game here.
I think he can. We do have the ability to do so. We have some minions and creeps here.
And just look at the items of Disclosure right now. That produces a lot of weapon damage. Just look at that. Even the weapon threat advantage slowly kiting away the armory. And are they going to go for the bait?
I think they're going to go for the safe route here. Mr. Wonder there. They don't want to let go of any advantages.
No, they want to keep us entertained with that.
They
want to extend the game longer.
They want to show off a bit more. Of course, showing up in ESGS is something that you can definitely do. Great crowd we have right now. Of course,
yeah, I mean,
Digital Devils looking really sharp in this game.
I mean, they are already looking sharp from the start all the way to the end with the way they execute their game plan. So they may as well give a school or a clinic to decide of ends based on how they're playing.
Absolutely. Of course, Digital Devils. They have been a name that keeps popping up usually every month. Whenever Mobile Esports Arena does have Vainglory tournaments, so we have a lot of practice.
Yeah, there's a lot of Digital Devils teams. There's Aethrux, there's Esports. So, I mean, they got the experience. They brought in the swagger, no doubt. The confidence they bring in.
And looks like they really did practice for this one. Just judging from the execution, everything is just so flawless. This is exactly what you want to do in the great team. But right now in the mid lane, though, should be a big fight.
Yeah, Liberosa still has his gauntlet, though. Let's see if he's going to time it there. But apparently Finn does run away from the gauntlet. But no, Tony's not the one who's going to survive or get the benefits from it. Happy Penguin, look at the kites on that team.
Oh my god.
The damage is just too much for them.
I mean, the Gwen is actually on the back end trying to dish out as much as she could, but that's just way too late. Anka dives and gets another kill. I think that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Game 1 winner, it is going to be Digital Devils, Aethrux.
Well, yeah, I mean, execution was perfect, the lineup was perfect, the sustain was actually all.
They wanted to go for the swag, they wanted to go and give us a good show, and I hope that's exactly what we're going to find out in this game 2. Let's jump into the draft.
All right, so let's see what, I'm thinking they should ban. Well, Catherine, Turnwalker, those are the usual ones.
Of course.
Anka gets banned. I'm not surprised with that.
I mean, you saw the performance of the Anka there.
Yep.
I think it was... I think it was Fade on that one, right?
Fade was playing the Anka.
Yeah, that was actually quite amazing. He made sure to play it safer. Again, despite Anka having
severely nerfed.
Yeah, diminished burst already. He's still playable. The mechanics are still there. As long as you play safe, you're going to eventually get to the damage part of the equation for Anka.
And even timing your Mirage, I mean, amidst the energy level or regeneration drop, as long as you time your Mirage or your Shimmering Blade correctly, then you're going to get the win. And of course, Turnwalker Catherine gets banned. Yates gets banned as well.
I mean, Yates, it's one of the newer heroes here.
Yeah, one of the newer heroes.
For Vainglory, superhero landing. Ultimate always makes me want to cry for more battles. Like, you're obviously gonna go for a fight. Once Yates uses ult, you're gonna go for a fight. Usually makes for very exciting matches.
Yeah, like I remember I went Battle Royale. Luckily I picked Yates. So when I got my Iron Mandate ready, I unleashed it, havoc on my opponents. Like, boom. I already used my second and my first skill. Boom, they're already dead.
It was like such a, especially the late game, right? Later parts of the game, usually if you have a Yates, it's usually really easy to control the team fights. Again, that's the reason why it's banned. First pick though, Arden, no surprise there. I mean, Ends usually wants to go for the control. Apparently, that is the playstyle they're going for. Of course, on the other side, they're gonna swap out. They're still gonna stick with the Grace, but of course, Finn gonna be swapped out to their side. Let's see if they can show up a lot stronger on this one.
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, even though Arden is nerfed, like in terms of the Vanguard, the activation of the Vanguard, even the Gauntlet as well, the duration, even though it's further nerfed, it's still popular nowadays. Even at 5v5 and 3v3s, especially 3v3s. Like, I would spam Arden because I find him unkillable in 3v3s.
Exactly. As much as Arden is actually a bit lower down in priority, as he was a few patches ago, I mean, the Gauntlet mechanic is still pretty much unchanged. Like, you kind of just want to, whenever that pops up, you just want to fight, right? And usually, because of the mindset behind that one, you kind of already fulfilled your role, which you did fulfill like previous patches ago. So yeah, that's the reason why. Of course, Silver Nail though. Look at that.
Yeah, Silver Nail.
Solid damage build.
Yeah,
damage
Silver
output.
Nail. If this Silver Nail constantly badges up all the gold, especially in the mid and early game, by the late game, if he gets that tension bow, he's going to be something you don't like to deal with. The attack speed, he already has that. That's one of his passive perks. And then he has that tripwire, which will slow you down and put you in a silence. So that's one thing Digital Devils have to be aware of. Like, making sure that the Silver Nail does not farm up that fast in the early to the mid game. It's going to be something that they have to do.
Of course, right now though, Ents looks like they're going to go for a bit of a solid lineup here with the Lance. I love seeing Lances in fights. Usually can dominate lanes quite easily with the shielding.
Yeah, I mean, even a crystal-powered Lance could also be devastating, because if the Impale gets boosted up with a crystal power, it's going to produce a lot of damage, especially in choke points.
Yeah.
And Ents, given this lineup, I think they should really capitalize on the choke points, given the Silver Nail and the Lance composition you have.
Of course, one of the newer heroes as well picked up on Ents, that Inara. It's going to make for a very interesting team fight. On the other side, we still have like a very mage-centric lineup here for Digital Devils. Aethrux with the Moline with that.
Well, they got a lot of choke point hitting options. You have Arden, you have Inara, you have Silver Nail. So if you're Digital Devils, like, as much as possible, you want to avoid the choke points.
Fight
early
in the open
game.
lane, in the mid lane fights. Usually that's where you want to see them shine. And most likely, that's exactly what they're going to do. Of course, Ents here looking for a comeback here. 1-0 so far in favor of Digital Devils. Aethrux, can they get out on top? Let's find out, shall we? As we go into Sovereign's Rise, we are going to go into the second game for today. So far, in terms of predictions, who do you think is going to come out on top?
Huh.
I know you like, I know you kind of like the damage output here for
I like the
Ents,
damage of Ents because of the Silver Nail, but I feel like Digital Devils could actually sweep this aside. I mean, I like the Moline pick. Moline could actually catch people off guard on the side of Ents, like by going through the back lines, getting a catch on Silver Nail and Scarf early in the team fights. That's going to be crucial for them. And
exactly.
Then you have Senor Pedro, who's actually very good at playing Celeste. I've seen him play Celeste. Like, he went a pentakill.
On the Celeste.
Yes, on Celeste.
Which is something you don't actually see a lot, because Celeste is a burst mage. Usually the burst after the initial fight is lessened because of the cooldown. So what did he do to do that? What kind of sorcery?
Look, the surprising element on that pentakill was that he was super low in HP. He timed his ultimate perfectly. He got 3 kills from that, even with low HP. And then combined his second and first kill. He just constantly spammed it out of nowhere.
I thought you were going to say he was weapon damaged. Okay, so that's a bit of a different story, of course. Right now, mid lane, Digital Devils already controlling the jungle, but of course, Ents rather, but still going to come for the fight.
Yeah, and James already very low in HP here. Smith is just chasing him.
They're in a better position right now, 5v3. But they're still getting disengaged on. Just goes to show the power of Digital Devils to just ward off early game aggression.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that team fight there, I noticed that Wizard casted his Impale on the Finn, which you should never do.
Exactly.
Because Finn could actually resist most of the damage from that Impale. So Digital Devils, they capitalize on that mistake. They know they can actually go aggressive in that choke point. So yeah, I mean, kudos to them. They read the game plan well. Even Inara tried to go forward to get the steal. It wasn't enough.
Yes, and of course, those jungles camps are quite impressionable in the early on. Very important to get those. Of course, Digital Devils still retain their own camps and gonna be getting a lot of the advantages. Still, gold lead not gonna be so much in favor of Ents as per usual. Like Digital Devils early on, no kills whatsoever. They're still ahead in gold. Can you explain why, Wonder Drift?
Heavy gold for Digital Devils? I mean,
why are they ahead at this point?
Well, if you look at the matchup, like Gwen against Lance in the top lane, Gwen was actually having a lot of space in the top lane, given the fact that Lance is a melee type, and then Gwen has that range advantage, could actually pressure Lance with that buckshot bonanza. And then you have, like, in the mid lane, you have you have Celeste being played by Senior Pedro, who could constantly spam up. Oh, it's Biavin.
He was going to get killed by minions. What the heck happened there? Of course, it's just going to be a play here and there. Lance looks like he's going to be caught in a very bad position.
He even misses his tail, but here comes the backup. James tries to protect his teammate. Royal Amnesty casted by Fady.
Oh, looks like Fade's still going to come up and try to protect Disclosure as much as he can. That Gwen doing a lot of damage on the Inara.
Yeah,
Going to be barely enough.
Disclosure has that weapon-powered trend. That actually gave him some lifeline in that team fight.
Exactly.
Going for the Royal Amnesty. Again, another set of Royal Amnesty.
And this is why Malene gets banned in a lot of the previous matches. And we have seen so far in the VPL as well. Because just so many ways to juke out. Juke out and juke in the team fights is just very impressive. The built-in mechanic on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I remember practicing Malene at one point out of boredom.
Yeah.
Super fun.
It was
like our opponent surrendered after 10 minutes.
Just because of the pressure, right?
Yeah, because of me blocking Anka's Shimmer Blade. he rage quit eventually.
That's so sad, man. That's a very sad story.
Yeah, like I just went Royal Amnesty forever. Like there's no way they could touch me.
Which is again something that's very viable to do. Especially if you're ahead in lane.
Yeah.
Like you can just go ahead and pressure over and over again. You're not going to have any problems whatsoever.
Yeah,
of course.
And speaking of pressure, like I see Malene there in the jungle and Gwen as well. You could actually go in the loop around.
Yeah, they are actually just invading and getting the jungle camps again of ends. Maybe this is one of the reasons why Digital Devils consistently ahead on the gold. They're getting all the gold sources right now. Top lane, they're getting another one. It's going to be a kill. First blood over the Digital Devils.
I mean, Lance is level 5 there. He's not yet level 6. He doesn't have the tactical rollout. So Digital Devils, they know they could actually capitalize on that. And they did. I mean, I like the fact that, you know, the rotations from Digital Devils are actually working well since game number 1. Yep. It's also very beneficial for them in terms of like getting this gold advantage.
Yeah, very efficient rotations and always on point. Like after they go for one gold source, they're very efficient in going right next to the other. So again, maybe that's one of the reasons why Digital Devils 1-0 right now. They're actually 3K ahead.
Yeah, and look at this. They're forcing ends to like stick together in some portions of the map. And and Digital Devils actually stole most of the jungle camps from ends. So if you look at ends right now, they're already desperate to get gold advantages, and that also explains why their gold is not as going up furthermore. As you can see here, Separista gets stunned there by Disclosure.
They're gonna get starved out here again. Ends just trying to get it. Of course, Scarf gonna be able to steal it off. Oh my God, this could be bad.
They're gonna get burned down by Scarf. There's the Royal Amnesty. Runs away.
Predicted. Great skill shot. They're able to predict that. Of course, they're gonna suffer. Gwen gonna go down to the lands. That's 1-for-1 so far. Favorite ends, they're making something on the map finally.
Yeah, I mean, Wizard does have that weapon-powered trend advantage, and that actually deals a lot of damage. I mean, sure, he may be able to miss that. Another one there!
Oh, surprise, surprise. Wizard, another kill for the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, it has to do with that sentry ward right there. Wizard was able to spot up that poor Malene, and Malene didn't have that vision advantage there. And
this could be bad.
On that here at Smitten.
Oh, there you go. Burst it down.
This is something you don't like to happen if you're Ed, to see your Silver Nail constantly getting harassed and bombarded. Like,
you're supposed to be the one doing the harassing and bombarding.
Yeah, especially against Grace, given the fact that you have the range advantage. And if you look at the items, you have a lot of weapon-powered items already. So it's a bit of a letdown for Ends.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the positioning was a problem there. It was a bit weird to be way on top of the tower with your HP very low. And then having the Grace circle around you. That's something that shouldn't happen, especially if you're a melee hero.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it also has to do with how Biavin is actually playing the Grace with the Silver Nails right now, Smitten. Okay, well protected there. I mean, Smitten is hard to kill. Like, he has his ultimate ready.
He's just going to rise after you kick him down. So.
And even if you try to go aggressive, he has that Holy Nova just to do some AoE stuns.
Of course, they're going to go for the fight here on the bottom lane still. 2v3 in favor of those Ents right now. Of course, Smitten, again, very tanky heroes here on the bottom lane. I don't expect anyone to fall anytime soon. But so far, because of all these advantages, look at that. Like, Digital Devils are the one getting the goal as they are doing harass.
Yeah,
so,
they're actually moving aggressive around the jungle. Just look at the spacing of Gwen and Malane in that corner of the jungle. Like they're stealing everything away from ENCE.
And right now, ENCE trying to defend as much as they can. Grace dives in on the back end. Gauntlet pop by Yarjan.
But Smidden's actually very low in HP though. Will he run away though? He's actually going back to the fight. He does have the sustain needed. Arden trying to do his best to let off the ultimate. Smidden tries to run away, charges forward, goes for the Holy Nova, and down goes the poor Inara. More problems already arising on the side of ENCE with a
they get pulled in! Free-man pull in there by this Finn.
Forced to run away. Liberosis pulling everyone in. Smidden chasing further forward.
Here's the Malene for the backup as well. Full HP. He will take another kill on the Scarf. And of course, Digital Devils. What a teamfight selection there. Great decision making, knowing that ENCE was actually in a very bad position to take that.
Yeah, I mean, initially I thought that Digital Devils has this disadvantage because Severista still has that gauntlet and he was able to pop it out. Smidden was already low in HP. Apparently, the sustains brought in by Liberosis causes a lot of distraction, causes a lot of havoc, and then Fady through the backlines, coming through, and there's no way ENCE could actually win it once Fady charges in.
Looks like ENCE wants to go for a fight this time around. They catch Gwen up, but looks like Digital Devils, they have enough damage to burst you out.
Yes,
and that's 2 kills coming over.
The ultimate, and here comes Fady charging forward with the ribbon, but apparently doesn't catch anyone. Now Severista, he doesn't have the gauntlet though.
He doesn't, and actually this could be Digital Devils again pushing ENCE back towards the turret, making the team fights work in their favor over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I like the initiations, I like the game plan. They know that Inara is very dependent on the jungle, and taking the jungle away from Inara, it actually creates a lot of space for Digital Devils to just move around from point A to point B, sustain themselves in every team fight, and even capitalize on the advantages that they possess right now.
And speaking of advantages though, looks like this is something that they cannot. They're gonna go and suffer a Gwen loss to that solo kill, Lance.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting Gwen to activate the skedaddle to run away, but...
He didn't.
Yeah,
he just stood there.
Yeah, like, he went very aggressive there, like, whoa.
Speaking of aggression though, Digital Devils still going for the fight. Thus, Inara is actually behind no man's land right now, joined by his teammates.
By Roses. And now Severista could go down depending if a hook is ready.
Spin with the double kill, and of course, this Digital Devils keeping up the pressure right now.
Yep, they're gonna get the tier 1 tower. Wizard is there, together with Happy Penguin. Gauntlet, Smidden low in HP.
Digital Devils may have out
that's a nice stun there by Smidden. Fady trying to go for the ribbon. Celeste pops the ultimate, hits on one target. Liberosis pulling everyone in, catching all the attention to him.
They should actually be safe at this point. There's not much enough that that ENCE could actually do to go for the chase, but right now they are gonna go for the re-engage, and that's still a lot of damage being output by Digital Devils. They have not left the bottom lane for the past 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So what's going on here?
Look, I was expecting like DDRX are going to lose like Smidden on that lane. The problem is Smidden was able to time that Holy Nova perfectly. It was actually the best counter-attacking option that Digital Devils could actually use in that team fight. And surprisingly, they survived. I mean, they let Liberosis move forward so that ENCE could actually attack him instead of Smidden.
Yeah, and over again, of course, the pressure being output by the Celeste. Global ultimates, making sure that, you know, it's gonna get you some sort of, hold on though. They're gonna go for the fight again. Silvernail caught in a very bad position here. Yep. Liberosis catches him again.
I mean, Hope misses. However, James is caught in no man's land. Surrounded there. I don't think James could run away.
This could be bad. Of course, James does fall. Liberosis still in the front line, tanking all of the turret hits. This could be a dead tower in a few moments.
Yeah, Fady has the ribbon.
Oh no, they caught him. Silvernail goes down for another one. Of course, the turret gonna be getting some of that backdoor protection, but that's only gonna hold him out for just a few more seconds as the creeps do get into position.
Yeah, I mean, Fady was able to notch up that first skill, that ribbon, and that catches off Silvernail. And yeah, Biavin has no choice but to die. I mean, he does have his items lined up, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. The fact that the pressure by Digital Devils all throughout the jungle and even all throughout the lanes. I mean, look at the score, 3-10. Like, it's going to be difficult for ENCE if they can make a comeback from this.
Yeah, being outputted right now, Ghostwing again, the next target. Very crunchy, very squishy target at this point in the game, with Digital Devils already ahead by around 11,000 gold.
Wow, that's definitely huge.
At just 13 minutes, my friend.
Wow, okay.
Jesus.
I mean, Gwen already has, like, wow, he already has the tier 2s, the tier 3 items in terms of, like, weapon damage.
Oh.
And then, if you look at Fady, the crystal power's already piling up.
It really is. And of course, it's going to be harder and harder for them to take team fights if this keeps going. And as you can see, the main DPS source here for ENCE just falls flat to the face. Just like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're ENCE, like, the only option you have left is to put Happy Penguin on the split push option. Because that's what Scarf is normally known for. Like, you max up the second and the first skill to push the tier 1s and the tier 2s. I mean, he does have the crystal power to do that. And I think that's their only option.
This time, ENCE, they're done sitting. They're gonna go for a fight. Mid lane is free. Very, very low on the front line though. Lance, he takes up the whole of Celeste ult.
Yeah, I mean, Liberosa's timed the reflex block perfectly, and this could be the counterattack needed for Aethrux. Look at this.
Look at this, they're going for it.
Yep,
of course, there's not much damage here on the side of ENCE. They have the Silver Nail, but he's busy right now looking at the creeps. His teammate just fell flat to the face and flat to the ground again. Another kill over Digital Devils.
Yeah, I mean, things are not looking pretty good on the side of ENCE. Like, yeah, they have a split push option. They have to use that. I think that's their only option of prolonging this game, distracting Digital Devils. I mean, they have the hero for that. I mean, Silver Nail could do that, but now it's all going to boil down on Scarf, and of course, an easy Black Claw for Digital Devils.
Yep. Even the Scarf having a hard time outputting enough damage to be super relevant. And right now, Digital Devils, they will start up a mid lane push right now. Black Claw gonna be crawling his way into the base. Could be very, very bad here for ENCE.
There's a hook on 3 though. Here comes Bidden with a follow-up. Yavin very low in HP. Will James surrender? No, apparently there's a gauntlet to protect the team. And I don't think it's going to be enough to protect them furthermore.
On the back end though, they catch the Celeste on the very bad position this time around. Inara trying to go for the chase. Of course, we still have the Barosis threatening up very comfortably. James trying to find a target, but missing his mark.
Yeah, they still could not land the win. I mean, it's a smart idea by James.
That was great, actually.
Yeah, to attack the backlines. But the fact is that you got the support from Smitten and Liberosis, even Fady as well. It's still going to be very difficult on the side of ENCE.
Yeah, and I can't believe that's not enough right now, though. They're basing up. They're rushing into the very open turret here. Of course, that armory gonna fall. Double kill here for the Gwen. Another one for her, and it's gonna be triple. It looks like it's gonna be.
It's going to be game number 2 for.
Actually, again, 16 minutes in, Black Claw wailing on the Vein Crystal.
I mean, the game plan was already perfect on the side of Digital. Going aggressive on the jungle, going aggressive on the lane, on the side of ENCE. And there's nothing else ENCE could do. Like, Silver Nail is their only option for them to win, like, to cause a lot of havoc in team fights, even Scarf as well.
Exactly.
Yep, and
there we go.
They were shut down.